Many of you, when you start in the world of crypto, you get to ask yourself a question. You find two main markets. You open the chart, you open Binance, you open Bybit, and you find two main markets, the spot market and the futures market. And I guess you always wonder, what is the difference when the names of the coins on the spot market and the futures market are the same? My dear, if you want to learn and really understand what these two markets mean, then sit tight, because today I have come to explain to you the difference between these two main markets in an English language, in a language that you and I understand. So sit tight. My name once again is Moses. I am an expert here at Moneyfest World School. If you like our videos, if you like content like this, come on, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. By the way, I've seen many of you have not subscribed yet. Do not forget to subscribe. Let YouTube know that you like this content, okay? So, if you like it, then let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with what we call spot trading. This is what most of you are going to come across at the beginning. Let's go and define what spot trading is. This is very simple. In spot trading, it's a place where when you buy a coin, you actually own it. What do I mean by that? I want you to take an example. No matter what country you're from, are you from South Africa, are you from Nigeria, are you from wherever you're coming from, you have land. You can buy land, right? So when you buy land, you own it. In spot trading, it's similar. It's like buying a piece of land and owning it. But watch carefully. When you own a piece of land, you don't necessarily need to do anything on it. You can just keep that land and wait just for years to pass by. When the land gains value, you resell it, and there you are, you have your profit. With spot trading, the same applies here. If I buy a coin like Bitcoin, I own it. I can send it physically. Well, not physically, but I can send it from one wallet to another. From, let's say, my account on Bybit to my brother on Binance. Let's say to you, my dear, who is watching, on your wallet. And you can get it, own it, and also sell it. Here, you have actual ownership. Why am I using this word ownership? Because it's going to come in handy when we talk about the futures market. Remember it. So, we said you can own it, you can wait for it to gain value, and once it gains value, you sell it, you make a profit. On the other hand, somebody can ask, okay, but I've heard about the futures. Then what are the downside? What is the downside of spot trading? On one side, I've told you the advantage that you get to own the coin. On the downside, you only make a profit from the spot market when the value of that asset is going. It's like land. Land, you only make a profit when the value of land goes up. But there are sometimes when the value of land instead drops. Maybe due to government intervention. What do you do when that happens? You're not going to panic sell your land. You're going to keep it, wait for better times, and resell it. I hope you get it. The same applies with Bitcoin, my dear. If Bitcoin has fallen in value and you are holding it in the spot market, you don't need to panic. You wait for a year, maybe two. On average, the value of Bitcoin always bounces back to the original value. That is what we call the spot market. In the spot market, if the price of an asset is going down, you don't make any profit from it. You only make profit when the value is going up. On the other hand, that is also good, because if the value is going down, you don't need to panic sell it. You can lease out your coin. I know somebody is already asking, wait, but you can only lease land. Who told you? You can also lease cryptocurrencies. Have you heard about staking and farming? Staking is very simple. In staking, Bybit can ask you to give it your coin, and they're going to use it for their own purposes. They can lend it to other people. They can use it to facilitate other transactions. They can use your coin to run transactions smoothly. For that, of course, not for free. They're going to pay you a percentage, which we call a staking fee. So instead of selling your coin when maybe the value is not going up immediately, you can place your coin under staking. It's like putting your money into long-term investment, fixed deposit accounts, right? You can do that with spot market. You bought a coin in the spot, you put it in staking and keep it there for quite some time and make money after some time. So those are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay? And the other one which I shouldn't forget is simple. Since here it is actual ownership, if you have $100 and you want to buy Bitcoin worth $100, you are going to get Bitcoin worth $100, not more, not less. You get what you paid for on the spot. Let's talk about the futures market. Futures. Now, this is a more interesting market. When we say futures, many of you think money, think profits. When we say futures, many of you, ladies and gentlemen, see big profits. But you know what you're buying? Have you ever cared to fully understand what exactly are you buying? Futures market is simple. We said with spot, it's like buying a piece of land. You have that land, you own it, you have the land title, all right? With futures, you're not buying the land, you are buying a lease of that land. Take an example. Let's say it's a fertile farmland. You want to grow crops on it, right? You're the owner of the land. You don't necessarily need to get your hands dirty, right? You can just go lease out the land to somebody, let's say for a year. They're going to grow crops on your land and they're going to pay you. If that land is Bitcoin, that also happens like that. What are you going to give the person who is leasing the land? You give them a lease agreement, an agreement to use that piece of land. If we call that a contract and we replace the land with Bitcoin, we form what we call a Bitcoin futures contract. A contract to use that Bitcoin at a given price. That is futures for you. Contracts of the actual value, contracts of the actual asset, but you're not buying the asset itself, you're just buying the contract. Let's go back to the example of the land. My dear, you've leased the land, right? You are paying the landlord how much? Whatever you think of a year, okay? In a year, you're paying the landlord something. Here, no matter what happens, remember, the landlord still owns the land. He can chase you off that land. That is number one. In crypto, that doesn't happen. But in the real world, he can chase you off that land. But what do you get here? You can grow crops. In some African countries, you have more than 2 seasons in a year. You can grow crops season over the year, make profits from them, and you don't need to share those profits with the landlord. All you need to pay is rent. Am I right? Of course. But watch carefully. Here is the take. If there is a flood and your crops get destroyed, the landlord doesn't need to hear that. He still needs his rent. If there is a drought and there is too much sunshine and you don't make a harvest, that is your problem. So it means you are making a lot of more money than the landlord, but it's a little risky. So let's go back and see now, how does this all apply in what we call the futures market? In a futures market, we said you're buying a futures contract. Literally, the right to use an asset that doesn't belong to you. You're buying the right. Good? Let's continue. So, how do you make profit here? Here, you make profit by what we call speculation, okay? It's like that piece of land. You buy that land because you expect this season we're going to have a good rainy season. If it goes well and you have a good rainy season, you're going to make good profits. If it goes bad and the rain doesn't come and it shines a lot and burns your crops, that is your problem. The same applies here, my dear. You make money from predicting, from literally what we call speculating. Is the price of an asset going to go up or down? Okay? You get the coin, you buy it, and keep it. When the value of that asset goes up, you sell it, you make a profit. But since it's speculation, you can actually make money by speculating that the value of that asset is actually going to fall. How does that work? If you think the price of Bitcoin, let's say, is going to fall, let me give an example. Let's say from $60,000 to $50,000. What can you do? You can get Bitcoin from Bybit Okay, futures, that's how it works. You're borrowing the Bitcoin, you don't own it. You get it from Bitcoin from Bybit, you sell it at $60,000. You know that the price is going to fall to 50,000. The money is still kept on Bybit, okay, in USDT. When the price of Bitcoin comes and falls back to 50,000, you buy them back. Remember, Bybit only needs the same amount of Bitcoin you got. If you got 2 Bitcoins, you buy them, and then you resell, you sell them at 60,000, and then you buy them back at 50,000. My dear, you give the coins back, you take the difference. You pocket the difference. It's like buying this phone, okay? You know the value of this phone is going to fall. It's costing, let's say, how much? $500. You know in a week's time it's going to cost $400. Why not borrow the phone from your friend, sell it today at $500, and buy it back tomorrow at $400? Your friend won't even realize what just happened. That is how shorting means. So in futures, how do we make money? We make money when the price of an asset is going up. We call it a long position. You buy low, you sell high. You also make money when the price of an asset is going down. You sell high a coin that doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Bybit, and buy back at a lower price. Still, that coin which didn't belong to you, now you buy it back and give it back to Bybit and pocket the difference. Simple. We call that a short trade. What other advantages come with the futures market? Since you are not actually owning a coin, you don't need, let's say, $70,000 to buy 1 Bitcoin. You can literally buy Bitcoin with as little as $70. You can now use what we call leverage. Bybit can allow you to access more coins than you can actually afford. If you want to get, let's say, 5 times more coins than your money can give you, you use what we call a 5x leverage. You want 10 times, switch on a 10x leverage. You want to get 20 times more coins than you can afford, 20x leverage, using the same amount of money. Why can Bybit allow you to do this? Because you're not going to take the coin. You don't actually own it. It all belongs to Bybit. When you make the profit, you take your profit, but the coins stay with Bybit. It's like the land. A landlord can have 1 hectare of land. You can go and rent 5 hectares. The landlord is happy to give them to you. We know that land is not going to belong to you, right? You can use it for your own purposes. You can plant, grow things, but still it belongs to the landlord. If he wants, he can take it back. The same applies here, my dear. Leverage, you can get to access more assets since you don't physically own it. You can just rent it out. I hope we are together on that. So, how about we go and compare spot versus futures? What is better? How about I pose that question to you? Let's start comparing. In the spot market, there is true ownership. You buy an asset, you actually own it. You can move it from one wallet to another, give it to a friend, pass it from one exchange to another, or you can even rent it out in staking. In futures, you don't own the coin. In futures, you are just buying the lease to use that coin. The coin will never belong to you. But one advantage of the futures is simple. You don't need $1 million to buy a coin worth $1 million. You can just buy the lease, which is worth, let's say, how much? $1,000, and still use the coin. That is one advantage of the futures. Spot, what else can you do with spot? With spot, my dear, the coin you have, if the price of an asset goes down, you can make it back by leasing it in the staking market. That is there. But remember here, if the price of the asset goes down, my dear, you have to wait. If you don't lease it, then you have to wait. Sometimes the price of Bitcoin recovers after a year or 2 years. So you only have to wait for the price to go back up and then sell it to make a profit. If you came to buy right now and the market is in a downtrend, the best thing to do is to wait. Wait for the best time to go and buy. Okay? On the other side, in the futures market, if the price of the coin is going down, you can still make money by going short. And what is a short trade? It's simple. You are borrowing coins from Bybit, selling them at a higher price, okay? You get the money, and then wait for the price of those assets to fall, and then use that same money, buy back the coins, give the coins to Bybit, and pocket the difference. Somebody's going to say that's cheating. Why is it cheating? It's making profits. It is business. So my dear, on the future side, you can make money when the price of an asset is going up and also going down. How about you let me know in the chat, what do you think is the best market? Let me know in the comments, my dear, what you think is the best markets. But I'll give you my advice. If you're a new beginner, you don't know where to start from, the spot market is the easiest, the simplest, and my dear, I would say the safest for you to start with, because you don't know how to use leverage, you don't know how to use margin, you don't know how to do this or that. For those of you who have been in the crypto world for quite some time, you know what margin is, you know what leverage is, then go for it. Don't feel shy. Go straight for the futures market, my dear. Okay? So I hope we are clear on that. I hope you found this very useful. If you have, then you probably want to start making profits here. If you do, look in the comments or maybe in the description somewhere there. You're going to see a link how to copy our trades and also go and start making money together with me. Hey, I give signals, so join our signal channel. You're going to be able to make trades and make profits together. If you like this video, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and once again, this is Moses at Moneyfest World School. If you like this content, then come back next time and see you.